Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. So this is my first ever video on YouTube. So the plan is to I'll learn something new and I'll record it and I'll share it with the YouTube community so that we all can grow together. So jumping right into the video, in this video we'll try to see how we can pull a web application from a GitHub and then install it locally and then do so many things like proxy that traffic into the Burp Suite or any other tool that you wanted to test. So in this video you will learn a few of the things like how what is GitHub, like how we can pull or clone a repository, how to deploy it locally, and then integrate it with the Burp Suite proxy tool, how to analyze that traffic. So let's dive directly into the topic. Uh, so yeah, for this demo purposes, like I am selecting a web application called a college management system that is developed by this person. The whole credit goes to him, right? So anyway, just going one step backwards. So what is GitHub? GitHub is a code repository. Like if you see, you can build and ship software on a single collaborative platform. It's like a collaboration where people will be uh, collaborating in this platform. Like you can, for example, you're developing a web application, you can store your web application here and then people start using your web application, so they can test your web application or they can try your web application or they can do lots of tons of things with GitHub, right? So today we are going to see a small tiny piece of it, like how to clone a repository and then deploy a web application locally. So uh, getting into the topic, so this is a college management system built on top of Django framework. So basically we'll be using Python to install this. So how do we do that? So whenever you first visit a repository or a code repository in GitHub, start a habit of reading the README file. Like this README file that is present here will give you the all will give you all the information that you need with respect to this repository. Most of the times they will try to document whatever that is needed. Sometimes people miss out, but most of the times, like 80 to 90% of the times, a good person who is good at documentation will have everything documented. So just let's try to go through this. So college ERP. So basically a college management system that is designed for interaction between students and teachers. Features like attendance, marking attendance, capturing marks they got in an exam, and the timetable, like class, at what time, what period or what class needs to be taken. So these like simple web application that we can install. So coming to the installation process, we need Django to run this application. So we need to install that using pip command, and then during usage, you can run the server from the manage.py file that is present. You can see here manage.py. So this file will be used to deploy your web application locally, right? So to run this application, let's get started, get into our action. Let's do some hands-on. But yeah, this is again the information, like how the web application looks like, how the UI looks like. So the most of the times this is everything is documented. So we will be using a tool called a tool for our interactive development. So an IDE basically called Visual Studio. So let's get into action. Let's go here. Let's search for Visual Studio. Yeah. Now let's open a file or folder. So let me try to open a folder. So desktop, YouTube, and let's select this folder, right? So I trust the authors. Like every time, this is a security for security reasons. Visual Studio Code will ask you whether you trust that folder or file before opening it. So yes, I trust the authors because the folder is something that I created locally, right? So this is For those who don't know, this is a Visual Studio Code. It's an IDE. We'll just see how we can write code. We can use terminal from here, like it's just a command prompt that you run. So this is how it is present. I'll just show you how we can pull or clone a repository from GitHub. So yeah, like yeah, I have mentioned here, let's to clone a repository, there is a button called code. If you click on that, you will see a HTTPS request. So from this URL, web URL, you can clone this repository. So coming back to our Visual Studio, let's do this. You need to have Git installed in your machine. So if that doesn't work, just Google to install how do I install Git, and it will give you step by step process. It's very pretty simple. Like I think not more than 3 to 4 clicks, but you need to have Git installed. So let's just run command git to clone. I want to git clone this particular URL, right? So I want to clone this ERP. So let's hit enter, and you can see the entire project has been pulled into my local machine. So the entire file structure, you can see the entire thing here. So moving forward, before installing dependencies or before installing Django or everything, I just want to make sure that I create a environment, like virtual environment, before I don't, because I don't want to mess with the environment variables or things in my machine. I want everything to be done within this college ERP folder. So that's why I need to do that. Let me uh, find the command to uh, create a virtual environment. If I'm not wrong, it is python menv, I think virtual environment, like venv, and name of the environment I want to create, like my environment. Let's hit enter. Cool. So there is my environment created under college ERP, right? Sorry, this is created under YouTube. I need to change, so I'll just delete this for now. And let's go to college ERP, right? And let's run the same command again. You can see my environment is created under college ERP, right? So it basically consists of the dependencies and scripts that are needed to run this web application, right? So to now we just created that environment folder. Now we need to activate that. So to activate that, we have a command that is basically let me find that command. I think that is my env slash. So within my env we have scripts slash activate. So within scripts we have an activate folder. We need to run that in order to get our environment activated. So let's try this. Cool, now it's activated. So if we are doing it for the first time, you might face some error because by default your execution policy in your laptop is set to restricted. So you need to make it unrestricted. To do that, what you can do is this is the command. You can run this particular command. Uh, yeah, you have to set your execution policy to unrestricted and forcibly. So you need to run that command in order to activate your virtual environment. So it's pretty straightforward. So let's get started. Let's install Django. So let pip install Django. So it's installing. Cool. Now Django framework is installed. So sometimes what happens is you need to cross check the requirements folder, like you do you have everything or not. I think I don't have all this, so I'll do one thing. I'll also install whatever that is required. So everything that this project requires will be put in requirements folder. So to run that, we have a command to do that. So let's pull that command. If I'm not wrong, that should be this. Yeah, pip install requirements.txt. So we have our requirements.txt folder, and we need to run that requirements.txt. You can see all the dependencies are getting downloaded that are required to run the application called as GRP. You can see everything is being cached and installed. Cool, everything is installed for this environment. Right now, after installing everything, we need to run our web application, right? So using this command. So let's try it. Hopefully everything, if everything, all the dependencies, all the environments are correct, then our web application will run. Python manage.py run server. Awesome. Looks like it is started, and the server has started running. And you can see it is running in the port number 80000. So you need to make sure that you have that port ready. Sorry, I instead of during copying this URL, I clicked on Control C, so that will break the server. So I'll just run the server again. Yes, it's running. uh, Let me copy, yeah, control click or normal copy. I have copied it, or else I'll go directly. So yeah, let's go to that URL, http 127 8000 port, right? Or maybe I need to give slash. Oh, there's something wrong. You're accessing the HTTP, but you don't. Okay, it's only supports HTTP. My bad. We don't have a SSL certificate installed, right? So yeah, you can see we are at the home path and the username and password. This is our web application. If you scroll down to the README file again, and he has given us some details with respect to users, login users like student name, teacher name, and he said that the password for everyone is project123. So let's try that. Let's log in as this person, Trisila, and the project 123 is the password. Let's copy it and paste it. Login. Cool. I was able to log into the web application also. Awesome. And one more thing we need to do is okay, these are all fine. We have users, we have teachers, we have students, and we have attendants. We can mark them. Everything is fine. But again, there is one page called admin admin page. So someone needs to manage the teachers and students, right? So that will usually be an IT member who is managing this web application, basically the uh, admin of this portal. So for that person, we cannot log in as Trisila because she is a teacher, not an admin. Remember that. So we need to create a super user for that. So let's do that. Try to log into super admin. So to do that, we need to again bring our server down and run this command. Let me clear this so that you can have a clear view. Yeah, now we'll go ahead and create a super user. It's asking for a username, so I'll give something like admin uh, admin, let's say subscribe, admin subscribe. Remember this username, admin subscribe. email address admin dot subscribe at gmail.com. Let's give this email address. Let's give some password. I'm giving test. It says password is too short. Do you want to continue? Yes. Yes, super user successfully created. Now let's run our web application again. Manage run server. You can see our web application is up and running again. So let's go here and refresh this page. Awesome. Now our web application is running. So our username is admin subscribe and password is test. Login. Awesome. So we are able to log in. Where from here we can create auth tokens, we can create groups, we can create manage users, attendance, classes. Like for example, if you want to manage users, you can come here and check for like we found someone like Trisila, right? That was the name, I guess. Yeah, Trisila. You can reset her password, or you can delete that user. So, for example, if that person left the organization or left the institute, then we can delete her user, delete her ID, so that she cannot log in any longer. So, right. So you can manage the entire web application as an admin. Now we have our web application deployed. So this is the same thing he added, like all screenshot, home page, the navigations through the UI. So this is how we can deploy a sample web application locally. So let's recap what we have done. So we have seen what is GitHub. So it's basically a code repository, and we can clone repositories from GitHub. So to clone the repository, we have used an IDE called Visual Studio. We have run several commands to install the web application from the terminal of this Visual Studio, and we also created a virtual environment to install all the libraries that are needed, libraries, dependencies, all that are needed for this web application to run. Once we have installed all the dependencies, we have run the server, and we have also created a super user like an admin of the portal. So now we have the entire web application set up. Let's see how we can integrate or like traverse or proxy this web application traffic, how we can proxy the traffic uh, to Burp Suite, and then I'll try to analyze that. So I have already installed Burp Suite. So let me open that up. So Burp Suite Community Edition. This is a free version of Burp Suite. So I'll bring this here so that you guys can see. Right. Yeah. So this is Burp Suite Community Edition. Let's start a project. Start Burp. Yeah, it has opened. So this is the desktop tool that we have from Burp Suite to analyze the traffic. So what we can do is come here, open a browser. So we have a browser open. This is the browser that comes with Burp Suite. So let's do the same thing. Let's go to our HTTP 127.0.0.1 slash 8000 port, right? Hit enter. So our web application is open, right? So now the traffic will be seen here. If you see here, so we have entered uh, localhost 8000 port, and everything seems good. So this is how a traffic flows. For example, to give a clear view, what I'll do is I'll just put it like this, and web application here. Cool. So now I'm trying to log in. So our username is I'm logging in as a teacher because this is not an admin portal. So teacher, and password is project 123 if I'm not wrong, right? Yeah, project 123. So let's copy this and open this. And once I hit login, you can see the traffic here. Now let's do descending order so that it will be easy for us. Let's click on show all, apply, apply and close. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 9. So now the next request will be 10th request, right? So once you click on login, you can see a 10th request, login request, a post request with our username and password. Username is Trisila and password is project123, and you can see it is validated and we got redirected to location home page. So as we are on the home page, right, this is the home page. Like, now we'll try to traverse, do something like for example, no, not log out, I don't want to log out. Let's say enter marks. So now I hit on enter marks. I so that everything will be captured here, like view students, teacher 6 students marks, so the same capture here. What you can do is you can send this request to repeater. So do whatever the security testing you want. For example, uh, we are getting a response 200. Okay. Now if I want, like for example, I am a teacher 6. I want to access the data of a person like another teacher, then I can change this to 6 to 7 and then send the request. I'll get the response to that. So there is a vulnerability here called IDOR. So changing the ID, basically giving me access to some other person's files. So this is one of the bugs. So in this way you can deploy web application and analyze the traffic using Burp Suite tool, and you can find different bugs like I mentioned here. IDOR may be possible, and see if we can play with cookies or change the host to something else, like try to add X host, all these things. But again, since we have deployed it locally, it doesn't make sense for us to change the host name and all, because it's not running in the internet. But again, you can do several stuff like IDOR related issues. Try to make this person log in as super admin. So lot of things. But yeah, as a in an overview, like we have deployed a web application that is hosted on GitHub. We have pulled it and deployed it locally, and then integrated it with Burp Suite. So basically, our browser, we are using Burp Suite browser to traverse, crawl this web application, capture the traffic using Burp, and analyze this traffic for any vulnerabilities. So this is how most of the manual penetration testing for web applications work. Hope you learned something new today, and see you in the next video. Thank you guys.